All right, the time for talk is over. Preseason has come and gone, and now is the first week of the brand new season. Officially, it's round one in Prospects eRacing Tier 2, presented by Sports Illustrated. Hello, everyone. It's Novanti here in that booth on the comms with you all afternoon. And you can probably tell by my accent, I haven't been to England in quite a time, but I'm going to pretend to be crofty here today. Tier 2 action is always my favorite here on the PC tier. And already as everyone's starting to pile in as we go. We're going to have ourselves, much like most things, a qualifying session, about 18 minutes or so, and then a 25% race. And everyone is piling in here. Let me know how you feel in the chat here today. Austria, Red Bull Ring, is going to be one of the most iconic tracks in the sport. And it's even though Austria itself is home of 8.7 million people, I can only guarantee there's about 200,000 virtual fans here for Tier 2 action today. You're the downtown, the clock. It is now time for qualifying here in Styria. I don't know who's going to have the early advantage. Now, it's only a few weeks since the game was released. And now, after 2 weeks of a preseason, we are here. Week one, things start to count more than ever before. So glad to be with you here in the booth. I'm currently broadcasting from the beautiful golden city of Los Angeles, California. That's -8 of British summertime. So it's just a minute after 12 o'clock local, which is kind of interesting seeing how most people are playing from all over the planet. You guys hear me in the chat. Let me know how you're feeling today. It is season 7. We made it, y'all. And granted, it's going to be the biggest season yet. All teams are represented here today. Some favorites, some new drivers. All about who has the skill, who has the resolve to move themselves up into Tier 1. Or perhaps they take over the world. Right? Want to get yourself some of that detail there. Cool. The paddock is full. Everyone's pretty much getting excited, getting ready. It's one of those things for me. I actually got my first wheel about a month ago now, and I am way off the pace. And so it's cool to see those in Tier 2 trying to get their best foot forward. And here's Brad White representing the Ferrari, making his way out there, but not the only one. There he goes. So 18-minute qualifying session. The name of the game here is to make sure you have the best position for that race here at the Red Bull Ring. Now, on the smaller tracks we're going to have here today, it's about 2.683 miles or about 4.318 kilometers around. So we're going to have a little bit more of a lap time for that 25%. Cars will be on pace, will be going about 148.5 miles per hour. I didn't do the conversion there for the kilometers. Getting a little bit, there it is. And already we're having about half the field on the track now, trying to get themselves in the best position possible for this first race of the season. Logesh in the McLaren and the Papaya. Strong on the softs. Skull Razor still in the paddock. Even though JDO5, the local legend around these parts, number 30 in the AlphaTauri. So a lot of times you'll see racers take their time in an 18-minute qualifying session, trying to make sure they have the best possible choice of a quick lap to ensure there's not a lot of traffic out there. But we're already seeing a bunch of the field out there from the beginning, maybe the course of maximizing their practice time, because it really isn't a free practice session. It's going right from qualification, quali, into the 25% race. Inertia in the Haas. Haas is definitely a car we haven't seen much of last season in this place. Hopefully to be able to give that brand a good name. Cars are normalized. It really comes down to the skill of the individual driver, the equal across the board. And there's already a battle for qualifying pace. Steiner ship with a 1:05.979. Just to give you a bit of context, the fastest lap IRL from Carlos Sainz is about that 1:05.689. So about 0.3 of a second off the pace. Pretty good, strong showing from the Steiner ship. I'm willing to see for this race myself is how Mr. Meta has improved. Due to the first showing in the preseason, wasn't really their race. Was far behind the pace of most of the cars and spun out a couple times. That's something I have my hands out for. Strong showing there from Melvin. And the Alfa Romeo. But it's all about the Steiner ship. Currently still the fastest lap. In the pits now. Probably taking a break, taking a breather. That just gives an opportunity for inertia. I assume it's Interia? I'm going to get that wrong all day. Interia? Help me out here. Thanks so much, Nick, for that update. See if I can fix that now for you. Just a quick second to try to figure out that sound issue. Thank you so much for letting me know that. Okay, let's I think we got sound going now. Let me know if that's better. As it stands right now, we still have centership at sitting on provisional pole. The hair shy of 1:06. Well, by quarterback, initial quarterback in JD05. Pretty close grouping there. Shows that skill is pretty much the same. So we have ourselves about half the field with times posted. Lemony Tang, I mean, not the strongest lap, but it's more than enough time to make that pace up now. P9 there is Jules. On the back of the packs, but still in the conversation, I suppose. So we still have not posted times from Jonas, Logish, Skull Razor, Alligator, M Slayer. Basically the back half of the field now. Still enough time. Only 7 minutes have passed in this qualifying session. But seemingly that Steiner is still, the Steiner ship, excuse me, is still on top, even though they're in the pits currently at provisional P1. And it makes you wonder how long that's going to stay. Because the time, as you said before, is pretty much close to IRL times. So it really puts the strain on everyone else to get themselves involved. Yupiaya in the Red Bull. Currently at P5, still on the track now. Would love to get themselves at least in that conversation, even though they're pit, as I say that, As I hyped them up, they're all pitting. I hate it. Let's take a look at Provoked in the provisional P7. About 10 minutes left to go on quali. 25% race to follow thereafter. And just like that, we have ourselves a new fastest lap Logesh 1:05.483. Faster than the IRL pace of Carlos Sainz in that same track. We're at the Red Bull Ring here in Austria. And it's a very strong showing to the first quali of the official season, Season 7, of Tier 2 PC action here in Prospect Esport Racing. What was going through Brad White's mind? The first one out here in qualification, currently at P9. I'm sure they have something up their sleeves, maybe want to pace themselves to have themselves a strong back half showing, so that works for them. Just a meta. Currently at P14. As I mentioned before, the first preseason match. I can tell I've been commenting on the sports. For those that don't know, I do professional wrestling, boxing, Rocket League, and so I said match instead of race. But Mr. Meta is one of I have my eyes on to see where they finish in this race. Just by that disappointing campaign in that first preseason race, getting used to new controls, a new feeling of weight, the new feeling of understeer and oversteer, depending on your perspective in the F122 game. This one's really much for them and Aston Martin to see where they can put themselves in the conversation. Or have ourselves our first retirement and Slay Up. And Melvin to get a spun out there. Well, not too consequential now, but you don't want to do that when the race starts, when your lights out. Steiner ship was led qualifying for a good chunk of the session, is now at provisional P3. Still taking a strong attack around those corners, get themselves nice and accustomed to the track. Like I said, there is no free practice. Granted, whether or not you want to practice in your own time is up to you. And this is strictly a qualification into a race, 25%. Season 7, Tier 2 PC. I'm Novanta on the booth. Hey, what's up? Follow me on that Twitter, by the way, at NovantaRL. That's NOVANTARL. Gotta plug myself there. Why not? And quarterback was always in that conversation of top 2, top 3. Now at provisional P4. Possibly looking to change their fortunes as well. So crisp, so clean around those corners. Put him in the shame. I don't have nearly as much control. I said if the PC has like a tier 7, I might give it a shot. But if it doesn't, I'll just be up here in the booth. A little bit more than halfway through. 6.5 minutes left to go in the qualifying session. Open at P8. No one seemed to be able to touch a Logas. About 2 minutes have gone by. No one's gotten close. Jonas has been the closest one, of course. Gotta give credit where credit's due, but I bet they really wanted to get closer, if not overtake. And Yuppie Yaya, the back half, even with half the field in the pits now, has a golden opportunity. Not much traffic on the track right now to gain up some ground. A little less than 6 minutes to go in quali. No, there's a lot of words that we in comms, we overuse, especially when it comes down to trying to find things to say. But I will say this, I am legitimately excited this go around. I joined the Prospect eRacing family the end of last season and got a taste of what could be. And it was such a quick turnaround with the release of F122, which gave drivers a whole new experience, a whole new way of looking at things. I'm just kind of I'm just looking forward to see how it shakes out. Which teams will be on top, which drivers adapt the best, which ones try their hand at tier 1 in PC. We all know the proving ground here is in tier 2. And as I am flapping my gums, we have ourselves a new fastest lap set by the current fastest lap leader. Well, guess 1:05.243. Ridiculous. From the papaya. And with a little less than 5 minutes to go, there's still time for more. So I guess we're time to ask the chat as we wind down Quali session. Who do you have your sight on? Who do you have your eyes on? Who do you think is going to show and prove in this first race? Dying to know. Three-tenths off the pace. Still in a favorable position. I mean, PTU front row. Not a bad place to be. And there goes off the side of the ground. And that was costly. I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe got spooked, or maybe it was an input lag from the wheel. I'm not really sure what happened there, but took a path after making the turn, the apex into the grass. Enter. Rolling hard in the Haas. Still in that P5 conversation. Top 3 rows, you can't really fault for that, but we all know everyone wants to be able to get on that pole. And you have 3 minutes to do so. 3:13 left to go in the qualifying session. Brad. The first provisional pole racer now in P6. Probably, I would assume a retirement's in order, but I'm just not going to speak for them. But Alba, go! And that Williams has more or less the best chance to improve their time with so many cars already in the pits. JD's taking a leisurely stroll, it looks like. So as it stands right now, we have our P9, P12, P14, and P17 still out there on the track. Everyone's pretty much retired from the session, or just taking the last 3 minutes to get themselves focused for that race. 25% here in Syria, first race of the season. Can't wait. And I'll be taking notes, because I want to be able to race one day. Maybe I might do a 5-lap thing one time, I don't know. Shout out to Lemony Tang being able to shave 7 full seconds off the first lap. I mean, but look at the grouping here. Only 2 seconds, I'll have to say about 4 seconds separates P1 and P18. But basically 2.5 seconds separates P1 and P15, this is going to be a very competitive race. Final moments here. Not sure if that's pronounced cry or cree. Let me know. P8 and P12 for the QC boys. Give it for the QC boys. Yeah. Final moments here. And that's it. Officially, quality is over. Drivers have 3 minutes. And this is pretty much shaping up to be what our field is going to look like, barring something miraculous or out of left field. Pace was pretty much strong across the board. There weren't too many drivers going away from their own deltas, it seems. I bet if I were a betting man, I bet JD05 would want to have their pace back. At least a little bit, sitting at P11. But Lamborghini Tang shaved a second off their last lap. It's trending upward. It might benefit them then later on as they get ready for the race. Quarterback spun out, apparently. That's not good. I'm not sure what happened there exactly, but don't worry. It's, it's quality. No, they don't see any damage. It's fine. Oh, no, it does it again. That's what happens. It becomes one of those cascading situations where you spin out of control, you try to get grip, and you just can't do it. But yeah, it's nice dress rehearsal. Yippee Pie gets back into the pits. More or less going to be retirement from them. And everyone's pretty much getting themselves back into the pits. They're getting ready for the first race of the new season. I know I said the word excited, but that's the best way to describe it. I can use to say elated. I could say enamored. I can use all the E words. But this is season 7. You know what this means? 7 seasons of racing. 7 starts. Many other organizations don't make it this far, but we are doing it, and it's becoming the biggest and best eRacing league on the planet. It's Prospects eRacing Tier 2 for PC. We're at Red Bull Ring for Austria. Hello everyone, my name is Novanta, and I'll be in the booth with you. We'll take a look at this lineup. Luggage in the McLaren, followed by Jonas in the Williams, the signership of the Ferrari, and Red Bull with Yippee Pie are the top 2 rows. Brad White, quarterback, provoked and interior, comes right after them. With Lamborghini Tang in the Aston Martin, and P9 and Maverick Loki representing the Alpine in P10. Opa, the Canadian, representing Williams in P11. JD05 in 12th. Skull Razor in 13th. And Alligator 86 in the Mercedes in P14. It's going to be a good one. And I'm going to be here with you live in the booth, in the comms. I don't know about you. You get hyped from me in the chat below. If you're watching right now, make sure you let me know what you think and who you have winning this one, the first race. It is Austria. It is Red Bull Ring. It is going to be a tightly contested race, one with fantastic straightaways and overtakes. That's because we get down the best here. Tier 2, in my humble opinion, because I'm on the comms, baby. PC here for Prospects eRacing Season 7. We're the final seconds now, counting down. And in the meantime, I was getting myself acclimated to everything about this track, about this location. I realized this, that in Austria, you can live, the average life expectancy is 82, which means you can see a lot of F1 races if you eat well and you exercise. Final 10 seconds to go. I know our cars are getting hype. I'm getting hype as well. Follow me on that Twitter, Novanta RL. You can follow Prospects Esports Racing on Twitter as well. There's going to be the information chat to do that. Getting down. I don't know. Should I do the lights up before we go? I'm not cool enough. We're not doing that. We're doing the formation lap first. But let me know what I should say. I feel like I should either like ape Patty Pat or like ape Dave Crofty. I should probably figure out what that's going to be. But long as in that P1, getting the tires warm, making sure everyone is good to go. Looks like mediums are the tires du jour from the top row. Take a look at the spread here. Most other drivers are on the mediums. I believe it's going to be a 2-tire strategy, or like a 2-tire rule as we get into this one. 25% means there is some strategy employed. I'm not sure how many teams are looking to do anything more than that, more than 1 or 2 stops, but can't predict the future. We don't know if safety cars get involved, right? Everyone's getting out. So with the exception of Yippee Pie in P4, JD05 in P12, and Cry Cry or Cree Cree in P17, it looks like everyone's on that mediums. Okay. You can tell by that overlay there. There's a 1-stop strategy and a 2-stop strategy in play. Anticipation's building. Tires are getting warm. It's at a fever pitch here. I gotta give everyone their props and credit of how much time must have been allotted in learning this game, this mode at the head of this season. Let's get in formation here. I think we're about ready to go. Blackout, let's race, baby. It is fantastic. Season 7 here at Red Bull Ring. And already we have 2 spinouts there. It looks like the Ferrari and an Alfa Romeo are totally spinning on that first lap. That was not called for at all. I'm not sure what exactly happened. And before we even get to the first turn, we have our first crash of the race. And that is not the way you want to start that first season. Everyone's getting themselves back into, it seems to be in racing shape. Not sure how much damage is on, but I think everyone's still in that race despite the turns. They're ready. As we start, we have ourselves a flag. 5-second penalty going to provoked. It looks like the race students have said it was caused by them. And another 5-second penalty for ignoring the yellow flag. That is not the way you want to start a race. If I can take a look. Yeah, 10 seconds already for provoked. Back-to-back in short order. It really puts their chances of having a good showing right in jeopardy. And we haven't even finished the first lap yet. We're already seeing space being given around with Jonas at P1 leading the pack by a little bit of over a second and a third. Logesh following right behind. Another penalty out there for allocated for exceeding the speed limit in the pit lane. Safety car is up, and it looks like it's gonna be one of those races. You know, I understand sometimes we get a little overzealous. That's probably the reason why. Thank you so much for your comments, Dan Walker 19. Thank you so much. We'll probably all have to fix that as we work on the season. Technical difficulty, that's the problem with being live. We're still at a safety car situation. Well, so Dan Walker 19, it says technical difficulties at the stream is choppy. I totally understand, but it looks like I'm streaming at 100% on my end. Maybe it's a bit of a breakdown on the server's end. Trying to see if we can get that squared away, but if it doesn't, I'm with you the entire time. So we're gonna see if I can get this a little squared away. I understand that while we are here in the safety car situation, let's see if I can get myself a little bit updated with the stream. Stand by. My apologies. We're still trying to figure out the streaming quality issue. I'm not sure why that's happening. I'm looking at my screen and it looks like it's working, but on the actual output, it seems to be choppy. Trying to figure that out for you as we keep going here. And I guess I could just talk to you while it's happening. Okay, still at P2. Was our pole winner in that qualification system, but still trying to get themselves back in that P1. But Jonas already with the fastest lap. Lemony Tang in that P3, we saw them with a strong qualifying, got faster and faster pace as they tried to get themselves later on in quali. It's now in P3, looking to challenge for P2. Open P4, a minute and a half, second and a half off the pace from Lemony Tang. Followed by Maverick in P5, Jules in P6. And already are having ourselves another spin now. Looks like Lemony Tang spun out there. And it's now, we're just giving them a little bit of credit for being up in the pace. Is now being sucked all the way down after a untimely spin. That's something you didn't want to do at all when you have the opportunity. That's for sure. And Mr. Meta, we're talking about them in qualification, how they didn't have the strongest campaign in their first race. The preseason now is in P7, still challenging the Haas to get themselves into the points for their team so early on to the season. All right, well, this try to see if we can fix the picture quality as we have ourselves a little bit of choppiness on my end as well. So one more time, take a quick break